of an interesting topic this afternoon. Influencers. So I'm talking about influencers through social media, particularly Instagram, versus traditional media, TV, radio and print, versus paid advertising. I was at a great function yesterday, and I was lucky enough to be one of the mentors at an event here in Perth put on by Renee Katz. And somebody had said to me that they were given the opportunity to sponsor a boxing event coming up soon. Hey, Vonnie, at Crown Casino. And she said, oh, should I do it? And I didn't know much about it. Hey, Chris. And I said to her, look, what's in it for you? How much is it going to cost? And she said, well, I'm not sure. Hey, Ben, thanks for tuning in. And she said, I'm not sure. And I said, well, I never did any paid advertising with my first business, FIFO Families, and I certainly don't do it anymore. And what you really want to consider is, what's my ROI? What's my return of investment? If I sponsor an event, how many times are people going to see my brand, my event? Because generally when we're talking about sponsorship, it's getting your brand or your banner up. I was at another beautiful event Saturday night, Happiness Co. Big shout out to Julian Pace. And their sponsors were showed loudly and proudly all throughout the night on 3 big screens, and the brands would flash up and stay up there for 3 to 5 seconds. And I could tell you 3 of the sponsors that were there because it's in my brain. But if you go to a footy event, ask yourself, do you take note of the sponsorship that is around the ground? If you go to other events, could be business events and there's sponsorship, do you take note of the sponsors? Do you go home and search the sponsors? Let's have a little chat about influencers. So there's a lot of Instagram influencers out there. So I'm talking about people that have thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram. And, that's a pretty cool place to be for some people because it's giving you profile, leverage and credibility, okay, which is what I talk about a lot in terms of traditional media getting you. And quite often these people can be effective if you do your homework in terms of, are they going to be great to help promote my products? Now, I'd be doing a bit of research, looking at other brands they've promoted. Hey, Abby, what's the return of investment that they could have possibly got? Because quite often, you hear the stories of influencers saying, I'm an influencer, I've got, 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 likes on my Instagram page. If you supply me with a dress or a watch, I'll wear it and I'll take a photo and I'll use the hashtag, hey, Lisa, and then we can... I'll be putting your brand in front of 100,000 people or 15,000 people, whatever the number is. So this can be great, but a couple of things to be aware of. You need to be aware of who your ideal client or your avatar is. And are they following this particular influencer? Okay. What is the cost going to be to you? Is it just them shouting out, giving you a mention on the Instagram? Is it them wearing your product? Is it them engaging in your service? What's it going to cost in terms of time and effort for you? And what's the return on investment going to be? Because a lot of people, hey, Nikki, I think don't think these things through. They just think, oh, yes, I'm going to be associated with this person. This is going to be a great opportunity. And they jump into it and don't really think through it. So I'd be asking those questions. Same when we jump across to traditional media. We're looking at your avatar and where they're consuming their media. So are they listening to AM radio or FM radio? Which stations? What current affair programs are they watching? Which channel news are they watching? What newspapers are they reading if they are? Or are they consuming a lot of their media online through publications or possibly through social media? You need to ask these questions and be familiar with the answers because that will really help you get laser target focus on where you should be starting with your media strategy, traditional media, which should always run alongside your social media. So which one do you do? It's tricky, isn't it? So I would, if you've got the opportunity to try some product or service with an influencer, maybe try it out, but just make sure you don't invest too much money up front. And you really want to get some sort of agreement with the person that you're dealing with to make sure that you're not at risk and that you're also going to get some return on investment or some brand coverage from that. In terms of media, one well-placed media interview can completely change your business and it can do it overnight. So, that's not going to happen for everybody, of course, but there is if you've got a great media strategy behind you, you can absolutely blow your business out of the water and very quickly, hey, Wendy, be the go-to person in your particular niche or your industry. It's really, really easy. Obviously, I like publicity because it's risk-free. You can do it yourself for free once you know what you're doing. Of course, you can get other people to do that, and I'm happy to talk to you about doing that. Hey, Mark, thanks for tuning in. And it's really about your personal situation and what's going to be the best fit with you. And advertising is tricky. I've never paid for advertising in either of my businesses. I've always looked for ways that I can do it for free. I was listening to a great podcast yesterday, Small Business, Big Marketing, and they were talking to Damien Lee, who has started this, it's an incredible story, Mr. Lee's Noodles. And he was saying that he tells his team, even though he's got a multi-million-dollar business now and he's grown that in a couple of years, he always tells his marketing team, think of the business when we started and we had £100 as our budget, and that's all we had to do with, advertising or marketing. That was our marketing budget, was £100. And he said, I always tell my team to keep that in mind. Let's not get a bit of money in and blow it on advertising or marketing. Keep that small mindset and look what you can do for free. Where are the opportunities that you can actually leverage your brand, your profile, your credibility, and get out there and utilize that for free, because it's really not hard to do. Anyone got any questions for me while I am online? Any questions? I hope this has been of help. I'm going to jump over to my closed Facebook page now, Media, Money and Magnetism, and talk about similar things, because this has actually come from a question from somebody in my group. Vonnie, big. Marketing was the name of my consulting business when I first started. When my name, Vonnie, that's so cool. Big Marketing. I love that. Vonnie, that is so cool. That is so cool. Love it. Oh, thanks, Nikki. Now, Nikki, I need to listen to your voice message, don't I? All right, wonderful, guys. So, always think, keeping your costs down. What can you do to get free exposure? What can you be doing to get your brand out there? Who can you align with? But thinking, who can I align with that isn't going to take me for a ride, blow my money or my funds, and really be careful in terms of looking at someone's own credibility and their integrity. And if you do work with them, hey Emerald, if you do decide to align with them, what's the return of investment? And be really clear from both ends that you're not at risk, they're not at risk, but this is going to be a mutually convenient arrangement that's going to work for the both of you. Hey Vicky, that's how I'd be looking at it. So you can get wins across all. I would definitely be going for that mainstream publicity, for sure, because you can do it without it having to cost you the earth. And, advertising, I don't think you need to pay for it. If you've got a big budget, of course, you can go for it. Some people it works really well for, particularly if you do have, big budgets to go on TV, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to shoot across to my close page now to do another video. As always, if you've got any comments, questions, if you want to book in a 30-minute free consult with me about where your media sits and where your business sits and where the media opportunities are, please do contact me. Vicky has asked, budget. What is the budget of what you speak? What is this budget? Budget for which, Vicky? For advertising? If you're looking to go on TV, for example, to, run an ad on TV, that can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're looking to place yourself or your product on, say, the Today Show or Sunrise or the Morning Show as an advertorial, they call it, that can cost you $10,000. Yeah, you don't have a budget at all.